YouTube and welcome back to KangBrosTV. England are into the semi-finals. England 2, Sweden 0. Show me the money. Hashtag Maguire. Jesus. That guy is a beast. He was winning every single header.
Hold on. That's the guy that signed for Liverpool, isn't it? Obviously.
But the thing is, from his performances, he actually deserves to play at a big club. For me, from what I've seen, the guy has got nerves of steel. He wins every single header in the air. And his goal today was like a bullet header. And the guy's not phased. He bullies people around, like when he's shielding the ball and all this kind of stuff. And I think he's a great defender. And I can see him playing for one of the top four teams.
We did it with Van Dijk. So if you go through the top four that finished in the top four last year, so Man City, to be fair, they could do. I mean, Stones is playing there, but but they could do with a centre half. Second, United, mate, like Bailly doesn't know what's going on, and he's probably the better defender. You got Smalling and Jones, which clearly means that they would take him. Chelsea didn't finish top four. No, sorry, Tottenham. My bad. Sorry, Chelsea. But Tottenham, depending on what Alderweireld's doing. You know, only probably team that could probably say now we probably don't need a centre half. But Liverpool, if he I know obviously being biased, but if he comes to Liverpool and plays with VVD, the Rolls Royce, it's a wrap.
Let us know your opinion on that. Do you reckon Maguire is ready for the top four? Because I think from his performances, he has been gully.
And to be fair, and I put my hands up and say, I said I'm not sure about this guy. Like he's playing at Leicester. If he was that good,
I told you, didn't
I? Listen, chill. Because end of the day, like. The way I see it is Harry Maguire and Robertson played in the same team at Hull and they went down. So, do you know what I mean? There's enough to say that I'm not sure. But fair play to the gaffer because he's picked him and he's gone, yeah, we're going to go with him and he's been worldy, to be fair.
Sweden. Safe for IKEA, your chicks and Volvo man and them.
But wait. On that point, the cameraman today, yeah, bruv, there was times in that game I was like, bruv, are you actually watching the game? Because he kept going from chick to chick to chick to chick. I was like, God,
it was just blondie after blondie after blondie, literally. But safe Sweden, you're gone, you're finished, you're done. Thing is, but performance-wise, what do you think of the actual game? Because from my perspective, the first half, for the first 30 minutes, I was falling asleep. I was catching Zeds almost. It was so bad. I was thinking, what is going on? They didn't even feel like a quarter-final at the beginning.
Someone goes to me, yeah, this is genuine chat. I was talking to somebody today. I was like, what do you make of the game? And his words were, no joke, he goes, the first half was like watching Barnsley-Rotherham. and listen, no disrespect to Barnsley or Rotherham, because obviously you're doing your thing, but what I'm saying is that if it's a World Cup game, you'd be thinking it would be a little bit more, innit? You'd need to be like, oh, listen, it was like watching like Chelsea United or like, Liverpool, Man United or whatever. You'd think it would be something like that. Mate, the team, that was the teams he picked. That was his description of the game. Say something to that.
That's what I'm saying. Until the first goal happened, then everything slightly opened up. Sweden had to come forward. They had to actually attack and go at us. And then you saw the game slightly open up and the game actually got better. So what was your take on the performance? Do you think England... There's still people who are not convinced. I saw an interview with Paul Scholes and he was literally tearing England apart saying, you know what, I haven't really seen England do much. The thing is, I don't want to shit on anything because at the moment we're beating and getting past teams that are put in front of us. That's all that matters. Just get to the final and whatever happens at the final, anyone can win. And I think that's the main aim. Yeah. And people are saying we've had the easier route to where we're going. It doesn't matter. Just get to the final and on the day, we'll see who the best team wins.
I'll be honest, I kind of like, I'll get rinsed for this, whatever, but I'm a little bit with Scholes because I'm like, listen, just go through it. Who have we played? You just really off to me. Tunisia,
Panama, Colombia,
Belgium, Colombia, Sweden.
Now,
yeah. So,
listen.
Wait. Just let me finish. Let me finish
my
point. What I'm saying to you is, at them teams, the only team I look at and think, yeah, decent side, Belgium. That's what I'm looking at. I think Colombia are actually a decent outfit. Don't get me wrong, right? And we scrape by some pens. But the only team that in that, if I wrote them down on a piece of paper, you'd look at it and think Belgium. Oh, tough side. Did you beat Belgium? No. We didn't beat Belgium, bro. So what my point is, you can always play devil's advocate, but what I will say is, it's a World Cup, and England got knocked out to Iceland in the Euros, yeah, against Iceland. That should not be happening ever. So what I'm saying is, it's easy to say, oh yeah, but it's an easy draw. We've had a tougher draw. Gary Neville said something before. He's like, yeah, so what? Because we've had draws before that have been nuts. we get knocked out and everyone's like, oh, England are shit. So I'm not sitting here and saying, oh yeah, well, we're only here because of the draw. It's not that. Listen, obviously the performances have got better and better, and there's an identity with England, which is great. And you've got to accept that people will make mistakes. Against Tunisia, I wasn't happy with the way that Maguire gave the ball away, Kyle Walker gave the ball away. They gave the ball away twice or three times in the space of a couple of minutes. You've got to kind of accept that's going to happen. At the moment, the expectation on the England team was very damp. Everyone dampened expectations, and now they're probably achieving over and above. Way over. No one said semis. Everyone said group stages or quarters. We're in the semis. So, as much as I think, we haven't seen any worldly teams. I don't think yet in the draw. I take that, because if that means we don't see no worldly teams when we get to the final, and then it's just literally have a go at it, then great.
Yeah, that's what my point is. Just get to the final, and we'll see what gets on there. Now, the goals. Obviously, we already discussed, big shout out to Maguire, to actually his goal was a phenomenal header, bullet header, no stopping that. The second goal was a fantastic move as well. Great ball from Lingard over the top, Deli Ali, bang. So, I mean, that was probably our second goal we've had in open play, I think. I may be wrong there, but I think that's the only second goal we've had in open play.
But as Liverpool fans, flipping out, I take goals off set pieces, because we conceded goals off set pieces for fun. Do you know what I mean? So I'll take that. Like open play, dead balls, whatever. Obviously they've worked on it and it's ticking, it's working. So whatever. I don't care if it's a deflection, OG. As long as the ball goes in the back of the net more times for us than it does for them, I don't give a buck.
Standout performances for me, as I mentioned already, Maguire, absolute boss. Henderson. Now, everyone's got their opinions on Henderson, but I think Liverpool fans already know what he can do. And there's a lot of people saying that he goes side to side. Like, it was evident today that he was giving the ball directly forward, which was good to see. But I think it's more the hounding that he does. And I think it's more the Liverpool style that he gets that from. The way they track people, the way they cut people off. So, now, what do you think of that? What do you think of Hendo and his performance today?
I think Hendo. I think we spoke about it like just a private conversation, but just a conversation. I said the one thing I think it's almost like you kind of acclimatise to your surroundings, right? Jordan Henderson played in a Champions League final and against Real Madrid. And I think at that time he thought, I'm cutting it, I'm mixing it with the best. Before, and I'm guilty of it, I said, well, he just does that or just does that. But maybe he's realised, you know what, this is what I'm good at, I'm going to nail it. And he's done it. And listen, you know what it's like, as soon as you realise that I've mixed it with the best, I've mixed it with the Madrid. Yeah, they lost, but he played all right. He played quite well. The build up to it, he played well. And now I think he's like, you know what, I know what I'm good at, I know my game, this is what I'm going to do, and that's it, that's me. And he nailed it. He kept us ticking. The tempo was good. He's got a diag, he's got a fizz. Mate, fair play to me. If that's what you realise what your game is and what you're good at and what your strengths are, nail it. I think, like I said, Harry Maguire for me is probably the one that surprises me the most and impressed me the most, because he's looked so comfortable. But equally, he's like, they've obviously got a thing like, we're going to play out. We're playing out regardless. John Stones is at Man City. He's with Pep every week. This guy was with Hull. Who's that guy? The Russian Slutsky was at Hull. He was a Hull manager, and then he's at Leicester now with Claude Puel. I mean, Claude Puel is obviously a good manager. I get all that. But what I'm saying is the differences in what they do week to week. And Maguire's come to the World Cup and he's like, you know what, we're going to play out. That's my things. I'm going to do it. And that's what's impressed me the most. I mean, Jordan Henderson's playing at a top club, so fair play to him, and he's realised what he's good at. But Harry Maguire's kind of like chucked in at the deep end, and he's acclimatised. I
mean, let us know what you think about Jordan Henderson specifically, because I don't want to think there's this bias because we're Liverpool fans. But the only thing
is he the best midfielder in the world? Yeah, he is. I'm joking.
The only thing I will question is the service that Harry Kane's getting. It's just nothing. It's hardly any service that the guy gets. He just runs around.
I know.
And I'm a massive fan of Harry Kane after this World Cup. I mean, we don't watch Tottenham week in, week out, but I can see now why these guys are on his dick. Because, boy, the things he does, like even today, like he wouldn't score any goals, but it's the way he shields the ball.
Makes the ball stick.
It literally, and it's like he comes actually into the sort of the centre of this park to get the ball sometimes, and it's his like maturity he shows as well. This is his first World Cup. I know he's not young, but this is his first World Cup, and the way he's going, you can tell why he's captain. Do you know what I mean? And nothing sort of phases him.
But again, I do think it comes from, just like what I said about Henderson, but like he went into Europe and banged in goals. Banged in goals against top clubs, Real Madrid, Juventus. I don't know if he scored against Juventus, but Dortmund. That group was nuts, and he just went in there and banged in goals. And then that's when I started to realise, because me and him fell out loads about it, because I said, It'll fade. It'll fade. I personally felt that Morata was a more complete striker than Harry Kane. I ate my words. Sorry.
Sorry.
My bad. I was wrong. Shit. But all I'm saying is Harry Kane at the moment, I look at him, I'm like, you know what? Just whack the ball up and he makes it stick. Comes in, makes it stick, pins the player, rolls it off, spins in behind. Then he's in and around the box. To score the goals that he's done, being in the right place at the right time is not a coincidence. The guy's obviously a worldly striker, and England are playing, so I'm obviously caught up in England hype. I would never say that if it was just Liverpool, Spurs or whatever. But I've said this to other people. I said it today when I was watching that game. I said, what fills me with confidence, which is a bit weird in what I'm saying it, so Liverpool fans, excuse me, but what I'm saying is, we watched Harry Kane bad up Lovren. Battered him up, yeah? Twist him up.
Better take him off.
We literally was at...
You. You.
No,
Lovren.
He was at... No, you, player. You. It's you. Get off, yeah? We see that happen. Bruv.
I would love to see... This is the only time I would love to see Lovren get done up in this game. Kane, do it to him again. I'd love to see that.
I now know what it feels like to be a fan of a team playing against Liverpool. Go and play on Lovren. Just go and play on him because he's
to be fair to him, Lovren, he's actually looked all right. Watching him, but he's always got mistakes.
But that's also frustrating, though, isn't it? You watch it and you think, he's a fucking player, this lad.
No.
Sign him up. Oh shit, yeah, wait.
No, but as Liverpool fans say, like, Lovren is actually a good defender, but he's always got mistakes in him. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is time to get that mistake out of him. But we don't want to make it about Lovren. But like I said, I'm super impressed with Harry Kane, and like I said, it's hard for me to say it as a Liverpool fan, but the guy is sick. The other guy I struggle to compliment is an Evertonian player, which is very hard for me to say, but Pickford. You made some big boy saves today. The guy was walking around after the saves as if he was in WWE. He's like looking at man like this and saying, yeah, what? He was so gassed after his saves that he was ready to take on anybody. Like, hats off to him. He made some great saves. Now, you've made some points about Pickford that you're saying, he says he's not having him. Now, I was baffed because this is the first time, you can actually look at your keeper and think, you know what? He's actually turned up. When you want the keeper to make big saves, he made those saves today because the game could have changed if those chances of winning, because Sweden didn't do shit, let's be honest. And they had a few chances and Pickford was there. So I'm happy because his distribution is nuts. I don't care what anyone says, his distribution is decent. So I'm happy with Pickford. This guy's not having him. So I want to hear this for sure, what you're going to say about Pickford, because the boy saved us today.
Listen, what I'm saying is England fans, listen, I'm as happy and as thrilled as everybody. Yeah? So but all I'm saying is this is purely from a football opinion. This is a perspective from football only. I think don't get too blinded by today. And obviously the penalty shootout was great. He saved a penalty, well done. But the goal that they scored, I know everyone's talking about this worldly save that they made at Colombia. It was going wide. Yeah,
it was going wide.
So if it's going wide, that corner don't happen. They don't score the goal. Game's done. Whatever. And I'm just saying, innit? Hashtag just saying and that. But today, he made some brilliant saves, and he did, and he has got that in him because he loves the worldie, and he dramatises the saves, and that's fine. But he made the save. But on the whole, as a goalkeeper, the Belgium goal, I think he just jumps, he dives. There's no anticipation. Like you take 2 steps. If you could see what he's done, you could see things panning out. From that point there's only one place that guy can go, which is that side. Instead of just standing there and then trying to make this unbelievable, just trying to jump, just take 2 steps, and that makes the save.
He's a short dude, bro.
No,
he needs to take them steps.
No, I'm just. This is for my personal opinion. I think he's a good shot stopper, and as a goalkeeper, that's part of your job. You should be a good shot stopper. But I think there's a few things in the nuts and bolts that, as a goalkeeper, I'm not convinced. Courtois in this World Cup looks very decent.
He's also 6'7", bro.
Yeah, you're going on the height, whatever, but you're a goalkeeper. You're a goalkeeper, and that's your job. Your job was to play and goal and do your thing.
But you have certain attributes in it. You got to use your attributes.
Yeah,
I think the guy's short, bro.
So for corners, when a corner comes into the box, Courtois comes and just munches it up, right? Obviously, we're not playing against him yet or whatever. But I'm just comparing him. He's up there was one of the best. I just think that Pickford has done himself favours. Don't get me wrong, but I'm sure Everton fans will probably agree, and Sunderland fans will probably agree as well. There's fundamentals that a goalkeeper has to do, and I still think that his fundamentals are probably a bit questionable. That's just my personal opinion. I'm pissing on anything that he's done. Fuck me, great saves for in the penalty shootout, and he was brilliant today. He made some brilliant saves, and that's great. You know, that it is the biggest stage, and to perform on that stage is great. For my opinion, there's fundamentals that could do some tweaking, but that's just my opinion.
The other one that we, I guess, disagree on is Trippier. Now, I think he has been one of the most consistent players on our team. Today, again, great shift from Trippier. Some of the distribution, some of his runs, some of his defensive work. Excellent. I couldn't even think about saying replacing him. And some of the, I can't remember. I think it was Trippier's ball to Lingard and then over to Deli Ali. So, once again, you're unsure about Trippier. Now, for me, that you have to be saying that he's making you change your opinion a little bit.
No, I'll eat my words on that. Because the only thing that I said about Trippier was, and not necessarily, again, I'm going to sound like I'm contradicting myself, but I just think that if you said to me, pick your starting 11 before the World Cup started, and it's the same for everybody else. I know it's easy to say it now, but I'm just saying, we spoke about this before the World Cup started, and I said to you that, for me, I would not trust Walker at centre-half, personally. As a centre-half and the right-back, it's different. It's a different ballgame. But I'd love to have Walker at right wing-back. So it was not that I think Trippier is rubbish. I just felt that as a right wing-back, I'd want Walker there because he's got gas. He's just won the league with Man City by I don't know how many points. I just felt that at centre-half, when you've got playing at 3 at the back, you'd want 3 centre-halves. I don't think that penalty against Tunisia would have got given, and the mistakes that Walker's made throughout the tournament, and let's not pave over the cracks, he's made mistakes at centre-half because he's not a natural centre-half. I just feel that if you had a natural centre-half in there, you'd cut out that penalty against Tunisia wouldn't have happened. He's got caught dwelling a few times because as a right-back, you can either clip it out of channel or just roll back inside and play it to your midfielder. As a centre-back, it's not as easy because that ball becomes a lot harder. So your decision making is very different, and that's my personal opinion. It's not that I think Trippier is shit. I just think that Walker and that position would be my first choice because I would want a centre half, a complete centre half in there. I also think that personally, I think Trent's probably got a better delivery, but that means nothing because Trent's all round game isn't up to scratch because I didn't even think that Trent should have gone in the first place. So I'm just saying from a perspective that I would have wanted Walker out there and another centre-half in there. That's why I wasn't having Trippier, that's all. I think he's proved me wrong because he's been very, very good. So, but I'll be interested to see what it's like when you go up against maybe a huge side, a bigger side. So
before we wrap this video up, there's no way that we can leave this one out. Sterling. Raheem. What are you doing, bruv? What are you doing? There were some easy chances that guy had. His decision-making has been dreadful.
Yeah, man.
Now, the guy I think he scored his most goals he's done in a season for Man City. So you should be buzzing right about now in terms of in front of goal. If we didn't get those goals and we'd missed those chances, I would be so pissed because these weren't even that difficult. The decision making is just shit. Now, I don't want to piss on him too much because he's getting in these positions that you always say to me, you know what? The good thing is the guy is causing problems, and he is. He's keeping defenders always like
on their toes.
On their toes. Shit, yeah, doing mad shit like you said. But Raheem, if we get these chances in the semi-final and if the final, boy, we need you to turn up because it's either you and Rashford. And for me, Rashford in front of goal, well, he did miss that one chance, but I would go for Rashford still. But I don't know. What's your opinion on that?
Listen,
what do you think about the misses?
I just think, look, it's again, like you said it earlier. I always look at the flip side of it, and I even with Sadio Mane, I've always said it. I just love the fact that he's always getting in those positions, and I like that. And he is a threat. He always draws defenders' attention, but he obviously could do with being more clinical. Absolutely, and I'm not going to deny that whatsoever. He could do with being more clinical, but I think. I find that Rashford drifts in and out of games, whereas Sterling's a constant thorn and a constant threat. And that's my I'm not saving grace for him because I'm not saying you should make a saving grace at this stage, but I just feel that, mate, he is an absolute thorn, and I'd have him in my side. And people are going to disagree with me. I don't care because it happened today. I said it. I'd have him ahead of Rashford because I just feel that at the moment he's won a league. He's played, consistently. He was, involved in everything. And even now, even though he's not scoring, and we could do with him scoring, don't get me wrong, but he's a constant thorn. Harry Kane's getting a lot more space because they know that if they give too much attention to Kane, that fucker's going to do something. So for me, as much as he is frustrating, and he was the same at Liverpool, and he was alongside Luis Suarez, who is the best striker in the world by none for me, you're going to score goals because you're put on the plate for you. But I also think that he is matured as a player and he's making things happen for other people, and I'd have him on my side. So,
all right. So, I mean, the question that we got left now, right, is are we good enough to beat Croatia? So let's keep this short. Do you think we've got enough in our locker to beat Croatia? I saw Croatia play today against Russia. It was okay. I mean, the game was okay. It was a great match for the neutrals and how it went and sort of turned out and we went to penalties and stuff. But are we good enough to beat Croatia? And do you think the battle in the middle with people the likes of Rakitic and Modric and Perisic
and what's his name, Kovacic as well? Kovacic, yeah.
This is what I mean. There's players upon players in there, and I think the battle could be won in midfield. And is our midfield strong enough to beat those?
I think for me, the midfield of Croatia worries me. Modric is probably one of my favourite players.
Me too.
For a long time. You're a massive fan of Rakitic. I think Kovacic, or however you pronounce it, is obviously a top player. He's played at some big clubs. He's not had the rub of the green at Madrid. But I think although their midfield is very good, I think our defence is better than their attackers, and I think our attackers are better than their defenders. So yeah, their midfield are probably going to dominate the ball, but are they going to go in? They're not the type of midfielders that make that late run to score a worldie. Or I mean, I know Kovacic has got that in him, but Rakitic and Modric, we're pretty much going to be in front of you the whole time. I don't think that our defence is going to be as troubled as much as their defence will be. So I believe that we can and will beat Croatia. I like Croatia. I always back them before every tournament as my dark horses, and they always let me down. But it's funnily enough they're in the flipping semis of the tournament and playing against England. So I think we can, and for those reasons, I think midfield wise, yeah, they're better than ours, but our midfield will work their bollocks off, and I believe that our attackers are better than their defence, and our defence are better than their attackers. So.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that. I'll second that, and I think it would have been difficult to play Russia actually in Moscow.
Atmos would have been nuts.
Yeah, against them, against their home crowd and everything. That would have been a bit more difficult. This, I do think, is going to be a tricky match, but I do think we'll come out strong from it. So it's definitely coming home. So don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you for the next video before we get in for the final. So peace.
It's coming. It's coming.